Hello. Today I will not only take you to a dark chapter of history. This time, when we open the door of the past and step inside, we will feel the breath of that darkness on the back of our necks. We are going on a journey to those ominous days when the Black Death did not merely walk the streets. It seeped not only into people's blood, but even into their dreams. On this journey, I will not give you numbers. I will not list historical facts. This is the story of the nightmares whispered by death itself during the night. When the Black Death struck Europe in the 14th century, it wasn't only bodies that were dying. Minds were collapsing, spirits were darkening, and people felt as if they were dreaming nightmares even while awake. Streets that were once filled with children's laughter and the hum of daily life suddenly fell silent. Shops closed, marketplaces grew quiet, the number of people praying in churches dwindled. Windows were covered with black cloth, doors were bolted from the inside. Imagine it. Every footstep outside your door could confront you with death. A child's cough, a woman collapsing, a man sitting on a curb and suddenly falling still. Everything was a warning, everything was a sign. And people who breathed this atmosphere for days, months, years. Can you imagine what they saw when they finally fell asleep? The real darkness began at night. In some accounts, this era is even called the Age of Darkened Sleep. People were not only running from the disease, they were running from their dreams. Many forced themselves to stay awake. Some kept candles lit all night, watching the movements of the shadows. Others whispered prayers until morning. Because the moment they closed their eyes, they were dragged into a world of darkness. Records from the time describe dreams so vivid and disturbing that they chill the soul. A woman, even many years later, trembled when telling hers. "In my dream, the door of our house slowly opened. No one entered, yet the weight of a shadow filled the room. I wanted to wake up, but the shadow leaned over me and stole my breath." Another man said he dreamed his wife's face turned into a dark pit, and from that pit, the hands of dead children reached out. A young man claimed he saw the same nightmare every single night, a long, endless corridor. Walls stained with traces of rotting flesh, and at the far end, a face staring at him. But it was not a human face. It was something made of darkness itself. It had no eyes, yet he felt it watching him. These nightmares were not seen by just a few. Thousands of people experienced the same themes: dark tunnels, shadows pressing down on them, the sensation of drowning, rooms with locked doors, endless screams, corpses trying to rise, watching their own bodies decay. Some said that when they woke, they still felt the breath from their dream on the back of their neck. Some swore the dark figure stood in the corner of the room, watching, waiting. Modern psychologists call this waking nightmares or hypnagogic hallucinations. But for people of that time, it had only one name: death is at the door. One reason these nightmares were so intense was because the fear outside never stopped. Corpses left in front of houses, the cries of mothers who had lost their children, the suffocating smell of those stone buildings called hospitals, but used only for dying. Darkness wasn't just outside, it had entered their minds, and the dreams spread like a plague. One person's nightmare entered another's sleep the next night. That nightmare traveled to another home, then another. By nightfall, entire villages felt as though the same dark figure was walking from door to door, choosing whose mind it would enter. Some priests believed dreams were the omen of death. One wrote in his diary, "Many of the dying saw the same dream the night before. They stand in a dark room. The door opens. A shadow enters. It does not speak, but I know what it says. Your time has come." These accounts are terrifying, yes, but they also reveal how the human mind tries to cope with death. As the end approached, the mind showed it in dreams. When death came, the mind opened its own doors. As the plague worsened, the nightmares grew darker. Cities emptied, silence settled, and silence can drive a person mad. In some places, days passed without hearing a single human voice. This silence grew even heavier at night, turning into ominous whispers in people's minds. A man described his nightmare like this: "I was alone in the city. Everything was closed, windows shattered, doors open. It began to rain. But what fell from the roof wasn't water. It was blood. I tried to run, but my feet were stuck to the ground. Then I heard a voice. You will come too." Even after waking, I still heard it in my ears. Such dreams are not born merely of fear. They are moments when the human spirit collapses. The plague didn't only kill bodies, it destroyed hope, faith, and the will to endure. Even after the epidemic ended, these nightmares left a mark. You can see traces of them in dark Renaissance paintings, old folk tales, nighttime stories told to children, the walking dead at night, the shadow at the door, the whisper that summons death. All of these were born from those nightmares. Today, modern science can explain these dreams, but to the people who lived then, they were not dreams. They were extensions of reality. Nightmares weren't simply something that happened in sleep. In the age of the Black Death, nightmares were omens. When someone began having intense dreams, their family often said, "His time is near." If you truly wish to understand the darkness of the Black Death, do not look only at the bodies in the streets or the numbers in chronicles. Think of a single person, alone in the dark, dreaming, hearing screams in the distance, seeing shadows drawing closer, feeling breath crushed out of their lungs, feeling utterly alone and completely powerless. The true darkness lies there, inside the nightmares. And those nightmares are the quietest yet loudest screams in history. Death comes from outside, but what destroys a person comes from within. During the Black Death, millions did not just die once. Many died over and over again in their dreams. Their minds were torn by shadows. Their dreams became rehearsals for their own death. Today, all that remains of those nightmares are stories. But the darkness those people felt still breathes somewhere deep in history. And sometimes, on a very quiet night, it feels as though the whispers of that era still slip through the walls. History may be silent, but darkness is never silent. If you want to look behind this darkness, to uncover the dust of forgotten fears and explore the truths hidden in the human subconscious, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because this journey is only just beginning.